What's up, guys? So, welcome back to the NW channel. So, I'm your host Benoit, and today we'll check the basics of 3 versus 3 Europe. I'm I'm not a specialist of that template, but I think I can help you with the basics of the template. So, basically, I don't know if you guys know about mirror picking, but mirror picking is usually to do the same set of picks for all the team. So let's say you see here we have it's 3 versus 3. There are 4 picks per player. So if you count 4 picks by the number of players, which is 6, so it's 4 by 6. 24 picks in total will be distributed amongst the two teams. So you need 24 mirror picks usually, but sometimes people will do some more fancy strategies that can be worth it, but usually to keep it simple, you need 24 mirror picks on Europe. But there are some regions, of course, that usually you want to have before the others. For example, the islands are often the picks that you will take as first, second, third, fourth, etc. And usually you will go in the center afterwards. And usually you will have Russia, which will be the third main region that you cover. And then, well, you have places like Benelux, France, that region is often popular also. And ultimately, you want to have counters for the center also. Bulgaria can sometimes be interesting in the Balkans, but most of the Balkans is not very interesting, usually. Spain, Portugal, usually it's not good. Italy, well, yeah, it's bad. Macedonia, it's bad. Turkey is bad. Ukraine is almost always bad, unless maybe you really want a counter, but usually it's not good. So, what you have to remind yourself is islands, center, Russia, and the rest. Usually that's the order you want to make the picks. And the advantage of making mirror picking. So if you are doing mirror picking, let's say you take Denmark first, Iceland second, you take, let's say, Ireland third, and you all do 1, 2, 3, all 3 guys of your team. Well, what happens is the probability that you get those picks are higher because you mirror them. Because let's say, for example, that the three guys here in master pick Denmark as first. Let's say if that's what they did. Yeah, they did. So if one of them gets Denmark, the guy that had second pick here in Iceland, that becomes his first to that guy. And if he gets it, well, the pick here in Ireland, it becomes the first pick of the the guy that lost both Denmark and Iceland. So basically, mirror picking increases the possibility to get very popular picks, very interesting picks, and that's why people do it. And yeah, that's why people do it. I'll show you an example where people don't do it and what can happen. This is a very competitive game. You have A really good team here, Terminator, Master of the Dead, and Sephiroth against Master of Disaster, Baron Apex, and All Day. If you check the order of the picks, so their first pick is Denmark, a very popular place because it's a first turn bonus. In particular, if you have the center of it, because you can make the bonus on turn one. Iceland and Ireland are often very popular too because they are not that much counterable, except for some Britain and Norway that can ultimately counter the islands. But the reason that the islands are so high, it's because, yeah, compared to like the center, it's much harder to counter the islands because there are less picks available in that region. Um, so you can see their fourth pick is in Austria. So if we go back to what I said before, you usually want to prioritize islands. By islands, I mean Denmark, Ireland, Iceland, and Norway mostly. And then you want to prioritize center, which they do right now. They do Austria and islands because it gives them a very nice position in the center. And then they go to Russia 6-7, making 6-7 also give them an increased possibility that it's the same guy that gets them, because the way team picking goes is, let's say for example you have let's say team A, team B. So if team A gets the first pick, then team B gets second and third pick, and then team A will probably get fourth and fifth pick, and team B will get the sixth pick. So the person that gets the sixth pick usually gets the seventh pick, which is kind of the first pick of the second round of picks. That's why 6-7, sometimes you can try to have the same you can have a region that will be covered by 6-7 that is close, because sometimes you have an increased possibility that it's going to be the same person that gets 6-7. Then you have 8, which is Switzerland, which goes back to the center, and the region here that can be quite interesting of France, Benelux, Switzerland. And then you have Leningrad, which at first can seem to be an odd pick, but it's a very good pick because with that pick you can control Finland, Baltic states, Belarus, Western Russia, and you can ultimately go to Volodka and counter West Central Russia, which is a definite possibility that you lose because it's a first turn bonus, and maybe the other team can be tempted to pick it higher, even though 6-7 is often the number you want for West Central Russia. Not always, but often. Then you have here 10th, they go back for a counter of Ireland. And you'll see here, let's say 11, well, they go in the center again. And you see the pattern here, they go back in the center to counter it, and you see how Spain, Portugal, Italy, Macedonia, Turkey, Ukraine, all those regions that I said that are not very good, well, they are not picked by this very good team. And as you can see here, it was the picks for Terminator, but if we would switch to Master of the Dead, well, we could see that he has the same order of picks. the same picks. And if we could check Sephiroth, well, it would be the same picks, the same order. Like I said before, to increase the possibility to get better picks by doing mirror picking. If we check Master of Disaster, which is the one of the guy of the team B, you can see that you will also prioritize to a certain degree the islands. You see the picks are quite high, 1, 3, 5, 8. Then you see the same picks 6, 7, even though he's not even in the same team as Team A. And you see that uh, he picked Austria quite high. Possibly he wanted to have the combo here, Austria with islands, make it the first turn bonus. And if we could check his partners, well, they would have the same order of picks as Master of the Dead. Like if we check all day, you see here same order with the priority on Austria, and you see the backups will be similar. If we go to turn 1, the game start, we could see, like I said before, 6-7. It's often the same guy that will get 6-7. So from the team A knows that they lost their first pick, which was here in Denmark. And so they know that they got their second and third, which were Iceland and Ireland. So the fourth and the fifth pick were Baron and Alde, because as you can see here, 6-7, it was Master of Disaster that got that. And if we go back, we check Baron, what number he had. He lost Denmark, Iceland, and he got probably Highlands here as first pick. So we can see, so they probably know Team A that they got first, fourth, and fifth or sixth pick. So they can already know a bit the order of the picks, the order the order in which the persons will move on turn 1. If we check here, Master of Disaster, he knows that he got his first pick, so he knows that they lost their second and third, and he knows that they probably got their fourth and fifth, which were, if I go back here, third, fourth, fifth. Where were their fifth pick? Their fifth pick was in, yeah, it was a bit low. Okay, so they got here 2 and 4th. So they got 2 and 4th, but overall it was 4 and 5. And 6-7, well, it was for Master of Disaster. So by checking this, we can see that it's going to be a very brawly game. We can see that Iceland will probably be possible to make, although there's still a pick here in Wales that can ultimately go to Iceland. You will have time to make Iceland before that pick came there. We can see that Master of the Dead here will have a first turn bonus, which is really well covered by Terminator. That's a very very nice strategy. And We can see that they will have a good presence in the Russian region. While in the meantime, here Baron will be able to make Austria with a tap from Highlands on turn 1. We see that they also have here a nice Western Balkans possibility. So let's see how the game goes. So you see here, Master of the Dead makes a first turn bonus. We can see that Timinator will make Iceland without much counter for now. And we can see here Sephiroth is trying to help Master of the Dead to make Benelux more safely, while Master of Disaster is trying to counter Benelux. As you can see here, like I said, there's a tap from Holde to lower Austria, which permits Baron Apex to make the +3 of Austria on turn 1. And here there's Master of Disaster is going there in Nitra probably to have to make sure that Austria is protected and probably to make Slovakia soon. And we can see here in Bulgaria you have Sephiroth that is already trying to go for it. So we can see that the center is well controlled for now, at least, by Team B. But the periphery, like Russia, Bulgaria, and Benelux, France, Switzerland, is better controlled by Team A. The same for Iceland. Although we have here a combined stack that will go to Norway, probably to counter Iceland. One thing I want to mention is this template is not like some templates like Rise of Rome where the income is the thing that matters the most. What matters the most on 3 versus 3 Europe is often the position of your picks compared to the position of the picks of the adversary. And yeah, that's the thing that you want the most, and covering the regions that really needs to be covered, and not covering the regions that are often really bad. So as you can see here, so Master of the Dead, after all, he will go threat the center right away while having his very safe income in Russia. He tries to go for Benelux but gets countered by Master of Disaster. So the goal of Team A right now is to go counter the center, because the center has a lot of efficient bonuses like 344, 344 here. You have 345 is not great, but in that case it's still a nice bonus for them. You have 243, so the center is a place where you have a lot of very efficient bonuses. You even have a 445. So that's why it's so important to not let the opponent get it. The same can be said for the islands, 344, very efficient bonuses, 445, 243. So if we advance the turn, so we can see Team A again is trying to put a lot of pressure on the center. They know that that's where Team B has most of their income, and they want to clean Russia and they did it really well because they have a lot of possibility to expand, even though it's not the best bonuses in terms of efficiency, like 4 for 6, 4 for 6. It's not that great, but considering that they will not be threatened much, it's going to be very good for them. While in the meantime, the center will be harder for Team B to control because they have the pressure from Sephiroth coming from the west part of the map, and you have also Sephiroth that will eventually come from the west part, the east part of the map, and you have already MOD that is MOTD that is in Hungary, threatening Austria, Western Balkans, and Slovakia. So we can see that, yeah, sure, they have more income. They have 20 income versus here, no, sorry, they have 30 income, while the other team has 25. But you see the position here in the Russian region is very strong. Position here in Bulgaria is interesting and not countered for now. The position in Iceland is really threatened. I'm not sure how long Terminator will be able to keep having it. While you see that Team B has a lot of places where they could be countered. So Norway is threatened. An eventual Ireland will be threatened by Iceland. Um, Slovakia is threatened by Hungary. Western Balkans threatened by Hungary, and you also have Austria that is threatened by Hungary. So if we go to turn 4, so we see that they really try to remove Master of the Dead from center, and they do. So it's very positive for Team B. The only problem is he's still lurking around, and there's Sephiroth gaining momentum here in Austria. So at this point, you see the incomes. It's still 25 for Team A, and you have here 27 for Team B. They just lost Austria. And here Ireland will be extremely hard for Team B to make at this point. So you can see the Russian region I was talking about. It's probably what will cost a lot Team B at the end. So they keep expanding the center. They probably know by this time that Sephiroth was in Bulgaria, so they want to go threaten him. But in the meantime, Sephiroth is really gaining momentum here in the center. And of course, they lost Iceland. It was probably a matter of time before they lose it. So if we advance maybe 2 turns, we can see that now they have 24, they have 33 total income, while the Team B has 17 plus 11, so they have 28. So now that we can see that Team A, because of Russia, are really turning this thing around. And of course, there were also the countering of the center by both Sephiroth and Master of the Dead that really like annoyed Team B. And if we go and advance a bit, we can see that they want now Team B to control the islands. I'm surprised they're not going to threat the Russian region, probably because they lack the income to do so right now. Um, but at this point, turn 8, it seems to be over. You see the income of Team A is 2 removed, while the income of Team B here in the center is jeopardized a lot. Like, I don't know how long they can go. So ultimately, you see that Team A will win. It was a very close battle. Team A really had interesting picks here in the Russian region. Leningrad with Tiver was interesting, and they got both 6th, 7th pick. It was very interesting by them, going a bit more for the peripheric picks and going into the center and screwing it up. It was interesting that they did that, because usually people will often do what Team B did. That means going very strong in the center. But you can see that both teams really didn't want to let the other team get the islands, which were important in this game, and they are often important. So islands, center, Russia, then the rest often, while neglecting some of the bonuses, is often the way to go on this template, with usually 24 mirrors, even though some people can do differently. Um, I want to show you here another type of game, which is not a high level game compared to the other. You can see that if I check Team A's picks of Asimosi, Browse, and NG, you can see that this guy here will go for the islands, and then you will spam in the center. Like, he has somewhat good picks, but he will be alone to take the picks of the islands. If I check, let's say here, browse, you can see that this guy will take Denmark. Well, you will not have mirror picks compared to the other game that I showed you. They are not making mirror pickings, so that decreased the possibility that they get the most interesting picks. Although the thing is, both teams on this one are not making mirror picking, so both teams are like kind of having a disadvantage on picks if they would go against a very skilled team, because like I said, mirror picking really increases the possibility to get the most interesting picks on this template. So it's not surprising that those teams don't have the same rating as the two others that I showed you. And if we go turn 1, well, we see that they end up, since they didn't mirror pick neither of the teams, they end up somewhat with not terrible picks, but at the same time, if we go check, they did some strange picks, like here the third pick here in Russia. He really wanted to cluster the Russian region, but he lost one here in Bryansk, and he got here a pick in the center. So it was a less interesting picking from both teams, and it ended up with a bit of random distribution compared to the other game, which was extremely technical. So I hope this video can help you a bit understand the basics of Europe. I was your host, Benoit, and I hope I see you the next time I make another video. See you.